Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. Hopefully if you're watching this video, you either already have a credit card or are thinking about a credit card, and if you're in the second boat or don't have a credit card, please check out this video I made on why I love credit cards, and I think everybody should get one if you can use it responsibly. So in this video, I want to go over my 5 top tips and tricks on how you can use your credit card effectively, responsibly, and increase your credit score. So let's just get straight into it. So the first point that I want to talk about of how you can use your credit card responsibly and not get into debt is to pay in full every time. And so what this means is credit cards will typically have a minimum that you need to pay every month. For Bank of America, it's $25. Ignore that, just pay the full balance. If you spend $2,000 in this statement period, just pay off the entire thing. If you spend $500, just pay off the entire thing. You pay $1, pay off the entire thing. Don't just pay the minimum necessary to avoid the interest, because if you forget or you exceed your credit limit or something, bad things are going to happen. You're going to get into debt, you're going to run into fees and all that, and you don't want that. So the easiest thing you can do to avoid any bad thing from happening is to just pay your credit card bill in full. And the second tip goes right into how you can do that. Most banks, if not all credit card companies, will allow you to set up automatic payments. And so what that does is you can set a point, however many days you want before the final payment is due, that you just want money to be directly taken from whatever account, checking or savings. I typically do checking. You can just set it up to directly take money from your checking account and pay off your credit card bill several days before it's even due, so you can be sure that your credit card statement is going to be paid off every time. You don't have to worry about, oh my god, what day is it? Oh, I have one more day to get it in, I'm going to be late. And if the bank crashes on the last day it's due, doom, right? You're going to be late, you're going to get fees, you're going to interest, and you're going to be miserable. Not miserable, but bad things are going to happen. So the best thing you can do is set up automatic payments. I typically recommend doing setting the payment date for 3 to 5 days prior to when the balance is actually due on the statement, and that's just to give you a little bit of buffer. In anything, give yourself a little bit of buffer time before the due date, just in case the payment doesn't go through, something happens. You have 3 to 5 days, which is a typical business week. Let's say it's a Friday, right? 3 days later is a Monday, right? So you still have time to make a call and get things taken care of if anything does need to be taken care of. All right, so that's the first two. The third one kind of relates. Let's say something happens, you have some kind of fee, you forgot to pay it, you overdrafted, whatever. A lot of people don't know this, but if you do have a fee, call the bank and ask them, can I get this waived? And bring up the fact that, this is my first time being late. You can show them your great history. I've always paid on time, or, I'm sorry this happened, this will never happen again. Just be nice about it, and I might make a whole video about this, but be nice about it and just ask, but be confident. Be nice, but confident, and just ask, what can they do? You just say you want to get it waived, and what people don't understand is the bank wants you to stay a customer. They want your business. They don't want, if you get angry with the bank, you're unhappy with the service, there's nothing tying you to the bank. You can easily leave and go somewhere else. But like I said in a previous video and if you haven't checked it out, here it is, of how banks make money, they want you to stay their customer. So they're going to do whatever they can to provide you the good service that you want to keep you as a customer. And at the end of the day, what is a few, $20, $30 compared to thousands, millions they're going to be making off of you? Maybe not millions, maybe not. Yeah. My point is, they want to keep you as a customer, and they're going to want to do that by providing good service. So if you ever have a fee that you've incurred, before you pay anything, at least try. Give them a call, or maybe two. If the first one is unhelpful, can I talk to I know it sounds like a Karen, but talk to a supervisor, hang up, call somebody else. Call again. Every time you call, it's going to be somebody different. But some people, let's face it, some people just are better at their job than others and are willing to take that extra step. So just try a few times. A few minutes a day could save you, several dollars or tens of dollars, hundreds of dollars. Hopefully you don't have that many in fees, but before you pay any fee, try to call them and get it waived. And most of the time, the bank will waive it for you if you've been, a good user. You're not calling every day, every month saying, can I get this fee waived? In that case, they probably won't, but if you have a good history, more than likely they will be willing to work with you. And finally, my last two tips are on how you can increase your credit score. So, you're using your credit card very responsibly. If you have a late payment, that is not going to be good for your credit score. So, as an average user, the typical responsible user, every time you use a credit card and you pay it off timely, that will already help you increase your credit score. But two more tips on how you can do that. So my tip number 4 is you want to periodically increase your credit line. And so what this means is every 3 to 6 months, which is typically the amount of time you need to wait before your credit company or your bank will let you request an increase. But when you request the increase for your credit line, that means you're asking for a higher limit on how much they can lend you. So for example, if your credit line was say $2,000 when you first started, that means maximum whenever you swipe your credit card, you can go up to a maximum of $2,000 without going over limit. So when you ask for an increase, say you want to increase to $4,000 or $3,000 if you want to be a little bit more conservative. And so you don't want to be so outrageous, you want to do it gradually, right? Because you're demonstrating that you do have credit, that you can pay on time. So let's say you go from $2,000 to $4,000 is a reasonable jump that you can request for and it will probably get approved. If you go from say $2,000 all the way to $10,000 immediately and you're like a new user, it probably won't get approved. But my point is, you want to gradually request to increase this credit line because it will help increase your credit score. And so kind of related to that is my 5th and final tip, which is when you're spending with your credit card, try to keep your spending to below half of your credit line maximum. So for example, we have the same $2,000 credit line, that's your maximum. Try not to spend more than $1,000 on each statement balance. And so what that means is the number that shows up on each monthly statement, don't let that number be higher than half the credit line maximum, which in this case is $1,000. Which is not to say, when you look at your numbers, you might say $1,900 out of $2,000, you're like, oh my God, going crazy, I'm over it. No, it's fine as long as, say, in January it was $1,000, in February you spent $900, so for each statement, you're still less than half of the credit line. That's all the creditors see. They see, oh, you're spending within the limit. You're not at risk of, almost going over is what they see. So doing that can also help you gradually increase your credit score. So the last two tips to increase the credit score are number 1, increase or request to increase your credit line, which will hopefully get approved if you've been responsible. And the second part of that is as you increase your credit line, don't spend more than half of that typically to help increase your credit score faster. All right, so those are my 5 tips for how you can best use your credit card responsibly and increase your credit score. Let me know in the comments below if I helped you, and if you have any credit card tips that you want to share, please share them in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.